Warning, there may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
I just cannot do the intro, ladies and gentlemen, because I am not going to have this feeling of what it's like to have my team win a major championship unless the Penguins just randomly just pull their heads out of their asses. So I'm just going to shut up.
O-H-I-O. Actually not wearing any Ohio State gear, which is shocking. Oh my god.
As Alex's internet is tweaking right now.
Literally a full Wi-Fi connection. This is ridiculous.
I got mine too. But yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm gonna get something on my chest real quick. Let's get the negatives out of the way first. So, Alex, I know what you're gonna say the second I say it. So let me finish. Let me finish. Is it true that if it was the 4-team playoff, this would have never happened? Yes.
That's the whole point, though.
That exactly. And the people saying that are Penn State fans. Guess what? If it was the 4-team playoff, you guys would have never made the playoffs, and you would never make the playoffs. So take it like a man and move on and go to the next season so you can lose another big game and not win the national championship.
Oh, God.
My mic unplugged. I don't even know how much that took out, but good lord, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean,
much better connection. Let's go.
Will Howard had another Will Howard game. Love it. 17 for 21, 230, 2 touchdowns. Judkins had a huge game, especially with one massive carry that he took for, I believe, about 40, 50 yards. Will Howard actually had 16 carries for 57 yards. He was scooting a little bit in this game. But yeah, man, it's surreal with the way we've struggled against Michigan lately. I really wasn't sure if this would be coming soon. I wasn't sure if this would come under Ryan Day at all. I was ready for Ryan Day and Chip Kelly to both get fired after the Michigan game.
Yeah, they ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Not now. Not now.
Definitely not.
And you know what? It's a fair point from Michigan fans, and this is a very uncommon time I'll say this, but I know they would feel the same way. If they won the Natty in a season without beating us, it wouldn't feel like a truly successful season because the game is, quite frankly, a mini Natty of its own.
Yeah, it's the best rivalry in college football.
By far, I would say it's one of the best rivalries in sports, actually.
To be honest, and I got a little bit of a hot take. It's getting to the point where Ohio State and Penn State aren't even rivals. Like, it's the same outcome every year. I don't care.
Yeah, how can you be a rival when you haven't won since 2016?
Well, Alex, according to Penn State, they're unrivaled.
Right. Unrivaled at losing in important games in the most embarrassing ways possible. Sure. Definitely unrivaled in that way. Hey, man. One thing Ohio State and Michigan fans will rejoice over, if that's even possible, will be the national championship running through the Big Ten for back-to-back years. And you know what? I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC bias irritates me really bad sometimes. We've seen teams in the old playoff format get screwed because of an SEC team. Florida State obviously would have gotten molly-whopped if they made the Natty, or not the Natty, but the playoffs. But still, it's the principle of it. So, shout out to Ohio State for bringing me some of the greatest joy I've experienced since the 2015, 2016 Penguins. And if the Steelers could win a playoff game sometime soon, that would be cool. That would be nice. I would like that. So I'm not even asking you to win a Super Bowl, Steelers. Just win a playoff game. That would bring me some joy too. Not as much as this, but
I'll trade it for a grilled cheese.
I'll take grilled cheese.
Yeah. Oh, dude, grilled cheese. I believe it's on Saturdays at hotel.
Yeah. I was out during the
Um,
second half of the game with the one and only Parker Medved, by the way.
Oh my God. Okay, for people who don't know who that is, that's his high school best friend, and I will be meeting the man himself next week potentially. And me, Joe, and
Yeah.
Parker might be doing the Spider-Man finger pose.
Facts.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm gonna give out the stats, and then I might. It's not a hot take. By no means is it gonna be the Steelers first, but bear with me. So I gotta go through the boring stuff first, the not so fun stuff, the stats. So if you didn't watch the game and you look at the quarterback stats, both guys looked even. If you didn't watch the game, right? Will Howard was, as my computer is tweaking. Give me a second. So the final score was 34-23. There was a little bit of a comeback at the end for Notre Dame. It was just too late. Will Howard was 17 for 21, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Riley Leonard, 22 for 31, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, but if you look at the stats, you didn't watch the game. It was quite even. Junkins, 11 carries for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a great game. Riley Leonard, 17 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. Receiving wise, Jeremiah Smith got the ball 5 times, 88 yards and a touchdown, and the other receiving touchdown went to Judkins. He had 21 yards receiving. So I'm going to give out the pick, and then I want to say what I said in the chat towards the end of the game that we kind of agreed on. As long as it's the second or third round for the Steelers, I wouldn't mind taking a chance on Will Howard.
Yeah, a guy like him, no doubt.
Yeah. I wouldn't take him. Definitely not taking him first. Definitely not.
Big, athletic, good arm.
Yeah. That looks like a Pittsburgh Steeler. So yeah, so I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't. Now, do I trust Mike Tomlin?
He's a faster and slightly, I shouldn't say slightly, pretty significantly leaner version of Big Ben, with probably a little bit of a weaker arm.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Do I trust Mike Tomlin to develop another rookie quarterback after the Kenny Pickett debacle? No, but you got to try again at some point.
Got to try at some point.
Yeah. At some point. Because like obviously the whole you're trading or signing for quarterbacks, that formula doesn't work forever. It can if you have the right one, but it didn't obviously work with Russell Wilson. So
nope.
So yeah, so obviously, we've been talking about Ohio State and everything, rightfully so, because obviously they won the national championship. But you cannot take anything away from Notre Dame. More specifically, Marcus Freeman. I think he will be back there one day. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be with Notre Dame, but I feel like he will be there, be back there in that stage, holding the trophy that time one day. It just wasn't their year to win it all. And obviously, heartbreak that happens in sports. But I think Freeman's one of the good ones where I think eventually one day, whether it's 5 years from now, next year or whatever, you will see Marcus Freeman on that stage, that national championship game, holding up the trophy.
I could see him easily at least making it back to the game in the next 1 to 3 years with that Notre Dame team, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix my microphone. It keeps tweaking out. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so is Riley Leonard going into the draft or is he coming back?
I believe this was his last year eligibility. So I would assume that means he's declaring.
I wouldn't take a chance on him, but I think he could be all right. I don't know. He's just throwing wise. That's a little iffy for me, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but I don't know. I as anybody wondering the doors, it is Joe. I don't know. Definitely out of the two quarterbacks, if I were a team, I would definitely take more of a chance on Will Howard. But yeah. So wait, so does this mean this is Steve Angeli's team?
Steve Angeli.
Steve Angeli. As Alex looks for that and talks, I gotta go grab my charger because I'm not in my room. I'm in the living room of our room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, let me look about Riley Leonard now. Yeah, looking for Riley Leonard. Let's see here. Riley Leonard NFL draft.
You got it. I'll be back.
The hell? Okay, so Riley Leonard is projected to be a day 3 pick. I don't think he'll go that late. Senior Bowl will be a good time to boost his stock. 6'4". Yeah, I don't think Riley Leonard goes in the 7th round. Some people thought Riley Leonard would be a first-round draft pick last year. I don't think he's fallen all the way to a 7th-round draft pick.
I don't think he's as like. Do you think people are thinking like he's like Max Duggan?
I guess so. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good comparison in terms of situation. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think he's. I think he's worth more than that.
I don't think he's like. He's definitely not like outstanding.
No, I think he's worth like a 5th. Not a 7th.
Well, yeah. So yeah. Towards second half was outstanding. Obviously, first quarter, Alex, I think it's safe to say that it was definitely Notre Dame dominant. I would say in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean they drove right down the field.
Yeah. But second quarter, Ohio State was just firing at all cylinders, man. They were boom,
seriously.
Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. Something just snapped in every single player's heads the second the Michigan game clock hit 0. Rightfully so. Because you think and you look at who they beat to lead up to get to the national championship. Tennessee first, right?
Yeah, Tennessee first by 25. It was Tennessee by 25, and then it was Oregon by 20, and then it was Texas by 14, and then it was Notre Dame by what, 9?
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says.
34,
Ohio
23,
State
11. Sorry, 11.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a hot take with a lot of people. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Ohio State was the most clear-cut, deserving team to win the national championship. Looking at the teams, who they beat, leading up to it and everything. And yeah, Notre Dame, they only beat Georgia, okay, Indiana.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah. Not taking anything away from Notre Dame, I still think they're a good football team. Don't get me wrong. I still think they're a good football team. And Marcus Freeman is a good coach. But yeah, if you just look at all the paths, again, I don't care. Ohio State had the hardest, and they played well in the hardest situation. We all know who had the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. If you put Penn State in Ohio State's situation, they would have lost to. They could have been. You know what? I think they could have beat Tennessee. They could have beat Tennessee, but they would have lost. They would have lost to Oregon. They would have lost to Oregon.
Yeah.
And then if by some chance they beat Oregon, they would have lost to Texas. They would have never made it to the national championship still. So, but I'll give credit where credit's due. They probably would have beat Tennessee. So yeah. Just real quick, because this is actually like we're only at the 15-minute mark, and guess what? That is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, me too. Honestly.
But Alex, last thoughts on the national championship. I mean, your team won.
Go Buckeyes, baby. I mean, huge. Obviously, the Natty feels amazing. Doesn't feel quite as good as it would have if we beat Michigan, but still an amazing feeling. Still unbelievable. I was just sitting there when the clock hit 0, like in shock, in complete awe, because going to the Rose Bowl to play Oregon, I figured it would be a close game. I figured that, it was a coin flip and things could have gone either way. I did not expect us to go out there the way we did and decimate Oregon after also decimating Tennessee, who was definitely a way worse team than Oregon. And then the Texas game I thought was going to be bad for a hot minute. We turned it around, fought through it, and then we came out, blasted the doors off at the start of the second quarter pretty much, and never looked back against Notre Dame in the Natty. So it was a long road. There was some serious pain in there. Watching Ohio State lose to Oregon in the fashion they did, and then watching them lose to Michigan in the fashion that they did was really painful, no doubt. But it got us here. And I don't think we would have won the Natty without it. So on behalf of myself, Michigan, thank you for being really mediocre this season and giving us the motivation to win a Natty. It's much appreciated.
Gosh, there we go.
And for beating Bama. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, this is crazy. But okay, I'm gonna go through some news. I'm gonna go through the news notes from this week now. It looks like the Heat are going to suspend Jimmy Butler. Just get rid of him. Just get it over with. Trade him somewhere else. Try to get a good deal. Just get it over with. You cannot have or deal with him anymore. Out for the Hawks, believe it or not, I would take Jimmy Butler. I would take him.
Haven't we talked
They need
about that
another
before?
guy. Yeah. I seriously would seriously take Jimmy Butler. However, for the Heat's sake, get rid of him. Just get it over with. The Jags did fire their GM. How do you say his last name?
They fired Trent Baalke.
They fired Trent Baalke.
Oh my god, only 5 years too late. Oh my god, I can't believe he's actually gone. I didn't even see that.
Gosh. And then, of course, the Bears did hire Ben Johnson as their head coach as well. Good hire. Still the Chicago Bears. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Definitely got the head coach part right for the first time in a long time, at the very least. So,
by the way, it is expected that Ben Johnson will be bringing his offensive line coach, Hank Fraley, with him to Chicago as his offensive coordinator. For those of you that don't know, Hank Fraley, former NFL lineman, is the father of Trent Fraley, a current North Dakota State offensive lineman, who I was teammates with in high school.
Oh, wow.
So if that is true, which I don't know for sure, big ups to Hank Fraley. That is awesome. He's finally getting an opportunity as a coordinator in the National Football League, which is absolutely awesome if that's true, and I'm very excited for him either way.
Yeah, that's pretty beast. I can't even lie. But yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do it here. I'll say it in a second. This may not go over well with what I'm about to say.
Oh wait, hold up real quick. I forgot to say this. You touched on Ben Johnson being a Bear. The Lions also lost their other coordinator. Aaron Glenn is officially the head coach of the New York Jets.
Dan Campbell already having all these trees more than like top the branches.
Yep.
Gosh, but so I got 2 more things to add for the show.
Cool.
Listen. Do I think the National Football League referees are getting paid by the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes? No. However, the calls against the Texans were really bad.
Yeah,
Do
the
I
two
think
in
they were
specific.
favored? Do I think there were some favored calls towards the Chiefs? Yes. Look at the hit against Mahomes, then look at the hit against Jared Goff, and wasn't there one against Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen? Whatever. Still,
Lamar got tackled out
that's
of
a
bounds
little.
pretty late.
That's pretty bad. Do
Yeah,
I think they're getting no? Do I hate the Chiefs as much people? No. Do I think the refs have been bad? A lot of refs been bad in Chiefs games this year. Yes.
Yeah, well, the
That's
NFL
my
has an
stance on it.
officiating
I'm
period.
not adding.
The NFL has an officiating problem, period. It's been bad in many games this year, so I absolutely do not think the Chiefs are paying the refs. I think that's a whole load of garbage, but I do think the NFL has a serious officiating problem, and you'd be ignorant to not agree. So
Yeah, it's bad. The Texans game was bad and pathetic. So, Alex, real quick, because obviously next week, it will be until next week. Super Bowl prediction, go.
I mean, you already know I'm picking in the AFC.
Yeah. So NFC.
Commanders, give me them.
All right. Listen, because I'm a big underdog story kind of guy. I will be rooting for the Bills. Do I think they're gonna win? No, but I love a good underdog story. So that just like I'll be rooting for the Commanders as well. So
there's an interesting thing here.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills have lost to the Chiefs 3 straight times in the playoffs, and you would think no NFL team could lose a crucial postseason game 4 years in a row. Oh, wait. A team lost 4 straight Super Bowls one time. Who was that team? It was the Bills. So this is a very interesting football game. It actually has some lore to it now, because the Bills have lost 3 straight games to the Chiefs. If they lose a 4th straight playoff game to the Chiefs, even though it's definitely not the same thing exactly, people will draw comparisons to the 4 straight Super Bowl losses. So this game has a lot of stakes, and I'm very excited to watch it. I think it's going to be a very good football game. And Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are both guys that aren't afraid to run. So hopefully there's no ridiculous penalties to overshadow this game like there have been in the past, like in the Texans game. But yeah, give me Chiefs Commanders in the Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. So all of you out there can't say I didn't say it. I'm calling it. It's going to be Chiefs and it's going to be Commanders. And the Commanders are going to beat the Eagles because Jaden Daniels is going to score. And 125 yards a game, Jalen Hurts is actually going to have to throw the football. And they're not going to be able to hand the ball to Saquon all the time. Because the Commanders are going to keep scoring. That's my prediction.
There we go. But yeah. So I'm not going to do it today. It's going to be bad. No. Okay, 23-42. No. I do not think Pitt is going to make the tournament.
Do you want me to send it on that?
They are a dumpster fire right now. Lost, I believe, 4 straight ACC games. The adjustments are not there. You cannot be losing in January, the ACC games in January. It's not going to happen. This year, they're actually, deservedly so, not going to make the tournament. So, yeah, there's that. But, all right. Today on this Friday, as you're watching this, I will be working at the Otters. So, there's that. So, take it. Don't throw it as hard as Bo did at the camera last week.
Good night, America.